Alrighty. I'm going to wet my whistle because I get the fun part now. We're going to move over to Backyard Banger, folks. And this week it is all about audio range. So I can be pretty confident we're not going to get a double up next week on this one either. But for me, this is my assignment this week. And this is a band that we love to bits. For this week, I was assigned to it. So I've just gone back to the Audio Range self-titled debut album. There's a link to the song Betrayal in the comments and the description box. So go find that. Dave has both CDs there for your enjoyment to look at. So yeah, because we did do the Perfect C, and Dave, tell them I've got it ready to go. I was going to actually just put the thumbnail and do the details on it, and I can release it probably tomorrow night. It'll go up live. I've been trying to get there at this point. It's fucking insane. So my apologies again. I'm telling you on the record, everyone just hound me. I'll get it out there tomorrow. But anyway, I went back to the self-titled debut album because we did review the Perfect C not long ago now, and this is just one of those bands that have stayed with us for forever and a day. Now, we loved the Perfect C, for those who didn't see it. Like, we all gave it 9s and 10s. And for Dave and I, when we did the debut album back in the day, like 2018, wasn't it? Yeah, 2018.
Yeah.
We both adored it as well. Then I think it made top 10s, and that year it was an absolute standout release for us. It's so cool when you do these ones to go back over things like this, because for us in particular that have done these ones before, we move on. We don't forget albums. We do go back and spin them occasionally. Dave, you'll be aware as well, the volume of music that comes through. Jeff's experiencing that now, that it's hard to go back to things because you've always got to sort of keep moving forward. That's why we take the breaks. We get to go and revisit things we do and all that sort of stuff. But it's one of those albums that's just stayed with me all that time. And what I noticed going back to it this time around was it's heavier than you remember. Like, it's a heavy album. It kicks off with Betrayal and just doesn't let up from there. I think the Perfect C, the second album, is probably arguably the more mature of the two releases. But this one just packs some serious fucking punch. It's got lots of flash, lots of intensity. I'm all for it. And if anything, I sort of appreciate it more on the back of the new album. It's not that the Perfect C doesn't have those things. It does. It's just that the Perfect C is a more well-rounded experience. This one sort of leans into the attack and a bit more sort of quote-unquote youthful aggression a bit more. And it just worked in this point in time for them. It's held up incredibly well. It's only, you say it's 6 years old when you think about it. So it's holding up nicely. It sounds great. The energy, the mix, the hooks are all as powerful today as they were when I first heard it. And all that said, they still have one of the most impactful ballads I've ever heard, to be honest, in Senses. Now, Dave, you and I both loved that when it came out. I think that was a standout track for us both. That song still hits me in the gut and gives me chills. I love it to bits. And that song alone makes this whole album worth the price of entry as far as I'm concerned. If anything, it lands more today than it did back in 2018. It's one of those songs that's going to become more sort of pertinent as time moves on for individuals. I never get tired of it. I can listen to that song over and over again. It's a truly special piece of music. And if you get one of those in your career, you've done bloody well. And they've got more than one of those songs. But across the whole album, you got killer riffs, great rhythm, great lead work. I love the panning, the tones. It really has it all. If you like it heavy with great melody, this is the album for you. It's got great lyrics and storytelling as well. And underrated, I think I mentioned in the Perfect C review that it's an underrated side of this band. It's just how good of storytellers they are overall. And that's what's sort of special about this band, is that side of them. I love the light and shade all over this one. The heaviness is fantastic, but in its own way, that sort of makes the softer moments shine even brighter, which is cool. On that note, the song "Shining Light" is another great power ballad on here as well. I love the
such a good song,
and the way the strings sort of add to that one too. It's such a great moment there.
Lyrics are perfect, fantastic song.
Perfect song. And again, there's heaps to take in on this album, but it's all wonderful to listen to. It's a joy to go back to it, like I said before, and I've never been tired of it. Tracks like "Make Me Feel" are still incredibly relevant today. Just check out the lyrics again, the storytelling side of things. Timeless, fantastic craft across this one. I love the bass in that one as well. And the rumble for the drums is great too. The Eastern approach on the guitar. I'm highlighting that track in particular when it comes to "Make Me Feel," because it's another example of just how much there is to explore and take in. You've got this big power ballad, and then tracks like "Make Me Feel" sort of take you in a different direction as well. You've got all your typical meat and potatoes stuff in there as well, but it's just a genuine journey of an album that flies by and just keeps you locked in the whole time. I think on that note, they're just as good live. So if you get a chance to go and see these guys live, they're just as good, if not better live. They're fantastic.
12th of October, Workers Man Club.
Yeah, they are a brilliant live band. But what was cool about this one too is that how every song, even though it's all riff driven, each song was different to each other. Nothing was, a copy, but it all connects. It all flows nicely. It's hard to believe when you think back on it. This is a debut album. And I love how this album in particular bookends with Jezebel. I think the open and close of this is a really nice sort of closing the circle, and it really sort of makes everything in between fit even better. I think it's just easy to repeat spin. In case you can't tell, I'm a huge fan of this band. I'm not the only one, so I'm glad it got assigned to me. I'm not going to complain about that at all. This was an absolute pleasure to go back to. Long story short, I love it. If you like riffs, melody, rhythm, kick-ass vocals, and lyrics, this is definitely an album for you. But it's got the great soft spots to go with that and complement things as well. The heavy stuff is great, but the soft stuff is beautiful too. I would just give the edge to the new album on this one, but it's hard to sort of split them now and you listen to them back to back. You can do it quite easily. I love them both equally. But yeah, I'm still in love with this album after 6 years. I think it's fantastic. So get around this band, please. Both albums worth checking out. We've done the review on both now. I'm giving this one 9 shots. I love it to bits. So that's my take on this one. Let's see if Dave, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was going to fucking echo what you said, man. I remember when this came out, and as you said, we go through a lot of music, but some really special albums just stay with you instantly. And I can remember like listening to this in my car when we got to see them, when we got them over here at the gig that we did. It's a fucking amazing band. They got the heavy stuff, they got the emotive stuff, they got everything. The vocals are perfectly, the conviction is there, the lyrics are there, the solos, everything about this is what I fucking love about rock and roll. This is why I do this show. Fuck me, this album gets a 9, new album gets a 10. These songs match perfectly together live. They've gotten better over time. They're from Australia, fucking world class. Yeah, what else can I say? Brilliant. I can love this band.
Nice. Cool. All right, Belle, over to you.
Well, fuck, what a debut. This seriously, like, I put it on. I'm like, fuck, this is cool. Great opening track. That's kind of normal, right?
Yep.
And then I just kept waiting for that subpar song to come on. And it just never happened. It's like, it goes for like 50 minutes or something.
Yep.
And I just kept waiting and waiting. I'm like, no, this song's awesome. No, this one's awesome too. Come on, give me a shit song. No, it didn't happen. What? Oh, it was amazing. Look, there are far too many good moments on this album to point out and talk about. And I probably could talk about it for an hour at least if I did that. So, and I like sleep. I'm sure we all do, so I'm not going to do that. But I will just say that this album got me excited in all the right ways. And Audio Rain are the best thing to come out of South Australia. That's
wow.
it.
Nice.
And
cool.
do I have to give it a shot?
Give it some shots.
Yeah. Give it a shot.
I'll give it a 9 because I still haven't heard the entirety of the new album. And I'm leaving myself room for that.
Yep.
But this was fucking awesome. I loved it. Loved it.
All right. Final word to Jeff.
Yeah, look, I've heard this album a few times, and obviously, you know, in recent times with the new album, you can hear slight quality. I mean, the new album sounds sonically better. You know what I mean? Like, for me, the sound quality. I think that, you know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was, the last album. So 6 years ago, whatever it is, I can't count. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It's a great fucking album.
Yep.
Sounds super good in my car too on the stereo. You know, eight speakers, surround sound, fucking holy shit. Sounds really, really good. So yeah, this is just a quality album from a quality band. They know how to do it. And as Belle said, you keep waiting for something to happen. Like, okay, surely, you know, I'm going to get something bad, and it never happens. And then the album's over and you're like, what the wow, okay, that's great. And that's exactly, I had the same thing the first time I heard it. So yeah, these guys are good, really, really good. I can't fault them. 9 shots.
Cool.
Can't fault them. And yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Cool. Audience here quickly. Kat says, I'm with you, Jeff. I like Summer Long. So there you go. There's some love for your song there,
well,
Jeff.
Thank you. That's my buddy's band. So
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
That's right.
That's all you put it forward. Oh, Vinny says, just received Audio Rain on vinyl in the post. Haven't spun it yet, but the new vinyl smell is so good. So there we go. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, something about, yeah.
Kat says, Audio Rain and playing with Shotgun Mistress soon. Dave was plugging the date for that before, weren't you, at the Workers Club? Is that correct?
Yeah, Workers Club, 12th of October.
There you go, people. So bookmark the date. Tuv says, this song is played in my head when I make a really good coffee. Forget giving shots. I'm voting it a strong black coffee. So there we go. Craig's going Audio Rain 8 shots. Up there. That's an up there score for Craig, which is cool. Tuv says, I really need to get out and see these bands. You should. Audio Rain will not disappoint, man. If you go out and see them, you'll be fucking blown away.
Fucking great,
Vinny says, great band. Get behind them. 9 shots. There we go. Michael says, first album heavier. I like it. Glad you went back over it. Loved listening to it. I'm glad you enjoyed this one as well. And Vinny says, Gone is a lovely track to immerse yourself in also. There is, yeah, definitely. There's, like, as been said, no dud tracks on this one. Next week, fun. Belle, you get the assignment, and it's Carly Jewel with Phoenix.